All right, so this next part that I want to discuss is connections and elevators. These are very important things that what I want to say is, so when you go to the connection page, you'll have this and it'll say left, down, up, right. And this is basically all rooms have a left, a right, an up, and a down. And these right here, I refer to these as pages. Pages are in this editor, it refers to them as screens. I've always just classified them as pages, and pages are a very pages are a very visual, obvious thing. It's like this is page number one, or scene one. I'm going to refer to them as pages. Sorry, I just that's how I've always called them. This is page number two, page number three, page number four. It won't blank out page number four, but basically you can have uh, each room is individually broken up into four groups. If you look down here and you say, okay, it says view area, and you see these two things, it'll say four. That's where I want to go. I want to go to the down area, and automatically you'll notice that this is the room that in the vanilla Zelda 2 vanilla game, these two rooms connect with each other. If we are going to go here, and this will be where I'll show you what I'm going to talk about pages, and because it I think it gives a little bit more better visual. Let's just go to this page and check it out. This is 4. Okay. So you have an up, and this room you come into it as a down. You have a left and you have a right. It's very important to understand that when you're connecting things, you have to look at these tabs to connect things. For me, as I mentioned before, I like to draw everything out. So when I connect things, it gives you a visual indication of what's going on, and you kind of are planning things. There's one thing that I want to be very clear about. You don't just create something and just say, like, that's good. You have to play test it. You have to test to make sure that the rooms are connecting where the rooms are connecting. This is very important. Play testing it once you've created it is very important. So what first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a little bit of a thing here and show you what I'm talking about. So if I go here, I have got MS Paint here going on. If I bring this page up, you'll notice that I have written down, I've broken these things up into four pieces, and I've said elevator on page 1 is exposition 7, elevator on page 2 is exposition 23, elevator on page 3 is exposition page 39, exposition 39, elevator page 4 is exposition 55. You cannot, and I want to be very clear about this, you cannot just place an elevator wherever you want and it works. You have to have elevators in certain spots in order for them to work. But not only do you have to have them in those specific spots, you also need to have where you are entering in and out of is going to connect as well. And I will show you what I'm talking about, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it. If you saw in the previous thing that I brought up, let's have a look here. I brought up exposition. Let's just do exposition 23. So we're going to move this elevator to exposition 23. Just 1 second. Let me get back to the editor, and we're going to move it. So you'll see when I right click this, this will bring up Y and exposition, and it will bring up what the actual thing is, what the item is, what the piece of structure you're dealing with. You can change this into all different types of things, but we're keeping it the same. And what we're going to do is, and then you can, on some items, you can change length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 23, and it's going to move that, and then I'm going to move this, and then I'm going to move my elevator over, And so I've put it now into this new spot. This is actually kind of bothering me. I don't, my OCD or something going on here that just really bugs me. So I'm going to move that over. Sorry, my OCD is just really bothering me. So what we got to do is basically what I'm going to do is showcase how the elevator works. As you can see, I've changed nothing else out. Like I've changed nothing here. I've just changed the actual elevator position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit it. Don't worry about any of this stuff. I'm just going to hit clone just for the sake of argument. I'm going to go back to the first room, right? And so these two rooms are connected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check out an area. When I check out this area, I'm going to go to the overworld map. I'm going to bring this into view, and then you'll right click this and it'll have two things. It'll say view area and emulate. I want to emulate that. I'm going to make sure that it's actually showing the emulation in, yes it is, okay, in OBS. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here and it'll basically bring you to this area. And then you're going to go down to the elevator. And remember, I've moved the elevator, but I haven't changed anything else. Now you're going to say, oh, well, this doesn't work now. That's not the way it used to work because it took me down to that exposition. But to the old exposition because I have not changed the way the page works. So if I get out of here and I come back to this, I'm going down to a new page. These pages are 0, 1, 2, and 3. If I change it to 1, so 0 is here, 1 is here, 2 is here, and 3 is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go to, sorry, this is getting more complex as it goes on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what I'm basically representing here. When you, now that I have changed this to 1, to page 1, I'm going to commit it to ROM. Then I'm going to go back to the overworld editor. I'm going to right click this. I could have left it open, but I closed it just to clean things up. I'm going to go here. Now it should now connect properly. And there we go. And there we go. We still have, so you might think, but you changed the elevator in the other room and now you're going up and it works perfect going up because the page has not changed from the room that it's going up to. It was only changed from the room that it was going down to. It's still going up to the same page it's still going up to the same spot in the first room. We haven't changed the first room, the entrance room. We have changed this room. So you have to view things as full connections, not as a partial connection that works in some weird way. You have to look at everything as a whole. Now, a good way to visually, one thing I really want to because I draw this stuff down, I haven't really used this in the elevator that much. I haven't used this in the editor that much, but if you are somebody, this is a very good tool. If you go back to this into the map and you might say, well, what's view area? View area will then bring up this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this full size. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to properties. This is what I like to do when I do use it. I don't use it that much because I draw everything. I'm going to pause this, turn this off. I'm going to turn these things off, but leave show labels and show arrows. What you'll notice right away is this is Palace. Whoops. This is Palace 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just so you have a visual, like, so when you're making your changes to the palace, you're going to be able to understand where things are. So if once you make edits to your connections, you will be able to bring this up and be able to visually, whoops, my bad, I screwed that up. I meant to put that there. You will be able to look at this and say, oh, this connects here, this connects here. You'll be able to check your own connections with, whoops, it's a little much. And basically what you'll notice here is this is a visual representation of how everything is connected, and this will give you an idea of how everything is connected and visually show you what you've done. So when you make changes, this will help you figure out how things work. This does for me, as I said before, I like drawing things out. I like to make sure everything, once I've connected everything, you want to then play test it and see how everything connects. You don't want to just say, well, everything now matches up the way I wanted it to if you made changes, and everything is now going to work perfect. You may have a page that's not you may have pages that don't connect with other pages, elevators that don't work. Even though the rooms are connected, the actual elevators might not be properly connected. So the next thing that I want to, so that's basically elevators in a nutshell. That took way too long to do, just saying.